What do you think? Is the Bible a fairy tale book? The Bible speaks of unicorns, and after all, unicorns are fairy tale creatures. Most people aren't sure what to do with this, and so they change the words. The modern translations change the word unicorn to wild oxen, inappropriately, by the way. Others have a unicorn looking like this that's now extinct because it was on the caves in France, and because they are all interrelated. These are the same kind: horses, asses, zebras, tapirs, and rhinoceroses all come from the same order. Tapirs and rhinos both have very similar standings in the world today. They're both virtually extinct, and horses and rhinos are what people think of a unicorn as: a horse with a horn on its head. Although horses are interfertile, as are zonkies, so some of these species are still interfertile. Let's consider the original sources to see why a unicorn is drawn as a horse with a horn on its head. They all describe a unicorn as having the body of a horse with a horn on its head. Also, Marco Polo, Pliny the Elder, Aelian, all describe the feet of an elephant. These are the feet of an elephant. This is the feet of a different animal. Can you guess what this is? What has a 3-foot horn on its head, the body of a horse, and feet like an elephant? Let's see. Albrecht Dürer, after reading Pliny's description without ever seeing a rhinoceros, drew it in 1515 looking like this. When considering that the word rhinoceros didn't exist until the 14th century, can you guess what they were called prior? Over the centuries, many believed that the rhinoceros was the unicorn. Isidore, Gregory, Albertus Magnus, many believe this to be true. Ctesias confirms that the unicorn is the rhinoceros by informing us that it was hunted for its horn. Aelian also describes the magical powers in the horn that are in high demand. The same myth exists to this very day, and it's why rhinoceroses are hunted for their horns, for the mythical, magical powers of their horns. Did dinosaurs go extinct millions of years ago? This is a distant relative of the rhinoceros that still exists to this day. And then here we have a Cambodian temple from 800 years ago with a stegosaurus with other animals. And Mekele Mbembe lives in a swamp in the Congo that natives claim to have eaten. This is the soft tissue of a Tyrannosaurus rex. Clearly, we can conclude that some of these animals may exist to this day. Over the centuries, we find many stories of unicorns fighting dragons, fighting elephants. We can confirm that they were enemies and arch rivals and of similar size. They're all mentioned in the same story as fighting one another. We get these stories from many sources, such as Pliny the Elder, Marco Polo, Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, men of renown. Had the rhinoceros and the elephant died off when the dragon did several hundred years ago, these endangered species would have been considered to have lived millions and millions of years ago. Webster's dictionary, 13 years before the word dinosaur existed, mentions dragons. The Bible also mentions the word dragon quite a few times, that modern translators have changed to jackal. They do so because they don't understand what a dragon is, and they put their trust in their own understanding. Fortunately for those who understand that dragons are real, we learn that God plans to make Jerusalem a haunt of dragons to keep people from returning, which the Crusaders verify that dragons were there, evidencing this is not a fairy tale book, it's the very word of God.